Well, first, let me start because this is the first time I'm talking to you on this matter. So I want to ask you whether you think, listening to everything that has been said about the theft case involving Madam Cecilia Dapaah, you're convinced that there's any wrongdoing to be investigated and looked into?
Yes, I think there is possible wrongdoing that needs some investigation. Two possible wrongdoings. One is this, that at a time that we are facing serious problems with our city, our local currency, the city, you remember from 2016, the city fell seriously. Now it's about $1 to 12 cities. And that our individual is keeping all this cash in the house. And not just an ordinary man like you and I, but an appointee of the president who has a responsibility to ensure that there is stability in the country. So that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is that the person is a political appointee. Those we call politically exposed persons who also have access to the national resources like
Hello, Mr. Azeem. Hello. Well, I think we've lost Mr. Okay. Mr. Azeem.
Yes.
Okay, I lost you there for a moment. You were on your second possible wrongdoing. So we didn't get you clearly. If you can.
Okay, I'm saying that this is a politically exposed person who has control over resources, who is in a position to award contracts, and who has been known to have awarded contracts. So you want to find out whether these monies were legally acquired or they were illegally taken from state resources.
And that is the subject of the investigations that has been started by the Office of Special Prosecutor. First of all, do you think they should be the people who should have looked into that matter?
I think the OSP is one of the institutions that should look into the matter because it has a mandate for investigating and prosecuting corruption and corruption-related issues. But I don't think that it's the only institution that should investigate the matter. I think that there are other institutions that should investigate the matter. And I have, for example, the Commission on Human Rights and Trade Justice needs to look at the asset declaration. Did she declare her assets at the time she was assuming office? What time did she acquire this money and the jewelries and the other properties that were stolen? Have they been included in the asset declaration, and at what stage were they included? The other institution is the Financial Intelligence Center that also has a responsibility to identify and investigate suspicious movements of huge sums of cash and possible money laundering. You could even ask about the GRA, because some people have come to say, oh, but she's her own person and now she worked for a long time. Working for a long time in government, you don't pay dollars. So she might have been in business. And if she's in business, have you got a tax file? And does she pay taxes on that business? So you see, I think that every institution involved should play its role effectively. Some have also mentioned EYOCO, but EYOCO, I believe, will be doing the same thing as let's say, OSP. So there might be a duplication there. But I've also heard people say that the police, when the matter was reported to them and they started to investigate, they should have also raised the issue of the source of the money and the propriety of keeping huge sums of money in the house. The police never raised it until it became it came into the public domain. So they have slept on their duties, and I don't think they should come in now. Although I think they also claim they have sent a docket to the Attorney General also.
So, per your analysis, you expect action from 3 other institutions. You mentioned Chraj, the FIC, and then you also mentioned the GRA.
Yes, please.
But so far, what do you make of the OSP's movements? Because there has been several reports out in the public domain. They are telling the public to ignore all those reports. The OSP has placed her under arrest, granted her bail, been to her houses. Should they be updating the public on what is happening timeously? Because it's been quite a while since they did those visits.
I think it's a bit tricky there, because both the previous office of special prosecutor and the current special prosecutor have also mentioned that since the person has not been found guilty, it may not be proper to keep just putting out whatever information they find. So it's a bit tricky to say whether they should put it there or not. But then it is now in the public domain, and with the current social media, it's a bit. It may be necessary to tell the people what the truth is, because this information that was put out there yesterday must have come from an insider, unless it is not true. Because social media, too, somebody can just pick some picture somewhere and bring it on WhatsApp. But if it is true that's what they did and that's what they found, and it's put out there, there's cause to worry, because it means an insider has put it out there. And it's best for the special prosecutor to just come out and confirm it, rather than lamely just denying it and saying that we should disregard that information. These days, there's a lot of things. They say it's fake recruitment, adverts, and all that. They say it's fake. And you just say, forget about it. We should disregard it. The police and other institutions have the necessary tools to investigate and find out the source of those fake news or messages. We cannot just leave it like that, because some people believe in it. Some people take advantage of it, maybe to even make money. So I think that's one aspect of it. But at least it should not be too long. They should be able to tell us the outcome of the investigations.
And already there are those who are dismissing the investigation based on what they say the president wrote in accepting the resignation of the now former minister, Cecilia Dapaah, that the president seemed to have already cleared her. What do you think?
I don't think that they are dismissing it. We are saying that what the president did was improper. He shouldn't have done that, because it may tend to influence the direction of the investigations. Because as you know, the office of special prosecutor is answerable eventually to the executive, the president. The president is the appointing authority. And even if he cannot remove him, the fact that he was handpicked and given that position, he's a human being. There's a tendency to think about what will please the president or not please the president, or whoever was responsible for his appointment. So the president, the president shouldn't have come out so early to make such a statement. But having said that, we should not necessarily just conclude. If the information is if the evidence is so overwhelming, it will be difficult to suppress the information.
And I'm wondering which questions in your mind you like this investigation to answer.
The questions are obvious. What is the rationale for keeping all this money in your house, even if it was legally acquired? Even the safety of the money. Did you think about that? Or your house is now a bank? But money laundering, that's the second question. Was this money illegally acquired? Because when you acquire money illegally, you cannot carry a bag of money to the bank and put it into the bank, because there will be questions. Some banks may not even accept it. And now with Ghana card, you cannot just send anybody to go and pay money into an account. Otherwise, the banks will be found to be complicit in whatever wrong has taken place. So you now have to keep the money in cash, find a way of spending it, and then turning it into legal money. Like going to buy a property, pay cash to them, and then when they get and sell the house and now take the money to the bank and say, this is my legally acquired house I've sold. So the second question is, was this money acquired illegally? Thirdly, if it was acquired illegally, where did it come from? At least the investigation should question these three basic things. But I also talked about the asset declaration and the income tax, whether it has been paid or not. So those are the issues.
And for a lot of people, they for the first time, they want this to be done as quickly and as fast as possible. Do you agree?
Well, yes, I agree, but it also depends on what is on the plate of the Office of Special Prosecutor. It is important to investigate a lot because politicians will start getting worried about what to do with the money they have in their houses. Who knows? If we're in some countries, a government institution could have just handpicked a few politicians and also visited their houses. So people will start looking at subtle ways of hiding their illegally stolen monies. So the quicker it comes out, the better for us as a country. And then it might give the city some amount of confidence again, and the exchange rate may start coming down.
And the other suggestion you made about picking a few other politicians and investigating them came up yesterday, because yesterday the Chronicle newspaper once again published a report in which another government appointee, this time a presidential staffer, her apartment where she was robbed of at least $114,000. And there are questions that are emerging about what should be done about that too.
Yeah, so that is the thing, that maybe we should randomly just cross-check a few people as a part of the lifestyle audit of the special prosecutor. Himself has mentioned that he's going to be conducting lifestyle audits. So there are sensitive ministries and departments, those that control our resources. Ministry of Finance, Controlling Accountant General, Procurement. Maybe it's possible to happen, but then looking at our country, I doubt very much if that can happen without any serious pressure from anywhere.
Mr. Vitus Azeem, always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too. Mr. Vitus Azeem is anti-corruption campaigner speaking to us. That should take us to 27 minutes past 8. Lawyer, please share a message from Aqua Taps. Then we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll speak to a security analyst on the list, the committee members.
Okay, committee members.
Do you know any of them? You know Agaga.
Just
you know Atacha. Atacha who Boache Jako was saying family member.
Family members.
Yes.
On also can be.
Yes.
You know. Okay, members no enya yidi about aka say bitimi afa na say mfa no ne asem no.
Yeah.
Because we hear members our committee so na say lawyer ba say papa yidi no say wo or Chraj.
Yes.
Akona boni di ye boni di lawyer Dr. Isaac Lati Anan.
Yes.
No a human rights expert. You. Aqua taps. Na se na kwa bonte unze ezoni peti o. Weather update na o my. Me pie ya me se me ko ya me se ezo na eba na say so had the whole hard say BBC about down on you.
No. That's what I said. I always say that where we are, is there somebody comes to report that this is what is happening?
Who knew the cause of what
is happening?
I would say Aqua Taps water purification tablet aba.